I press 3 and I do shift right click and I go to smooth, right? Wait. Smooth? What, huh? This all one piece of geometry? Something's funny with this. What is going on? Face. All right, I thought something funny was going on. All right, so I'll just do this. Control D. Just make another one. I'll go to vertexes, select them all, press R to scale them down, make them flat. Then I'll do a shift right click. I'll do a smooth. Okay, now it's looking right. All right, so what smooth does is it gives you an extra division. So now if I press 1 and 3, you see what 1 being hard does now? Now if I was to do a smooth again, so I'll just go to divisions and I'll just make it 2. So now if I press 3, it's like you can barely see the change, right? And now all I gotta do is, well, select it, existing material. It's not new material, Arnold. Yeah, standard surface. Then I'll just do a control E. And now I have this, and I can use this as like the outer part of my shield, I guess. You see what happens if you smooth it again. So if I was to go here and go click on this, double click on this, shift right click, give it a bevel. Remember, 2 or more. Tighten up that bevel like that. Yeah, it's looking a bit more proper. And you know, if, of course, if you do this, like if you were to take away some of these edges beforehand, you know, like maybe some of these that are closer, maybe every other one, maybe for a couple areas. What this will do is it'll give it like a smoothness. Delete edge. Why is it not doing it? Delete edge. I think something might be up with this piece of geometry. But the more edges you delete, it'll just get smoother. But these have a lot of edges, so it got a little bit harsher. And then after that, you can do something instead of using this. Well, I guess we can have some purpose for this. We can just take these cubes and make ourselves, ooh, some wooden pieces like this. And all we gotta do is go to edge, select it, and then we'll do a bevel. Give it a tight, nice. And then we could do something like move this over here and then do a control D. Another one, control D. D. Control D. And so now we have these. Should take maybe 3 more. And then it'd just be a matter of going into here, taking these and pulling these up. You know, we're just kind of like massaging them into place. But you're grabbing the vertexes. You're not like going like this. Because if you were to scale, what happens is it flattens out the bevel, which maybe not matter so much on this, but it's still just a better way to do things. So yeah, so all we do is do this, scale these up. And you can already see where it's going. So if you did that across the whole thing, it look pretty nice. And then if you, I don't know, for whatever reason, want a light coming in through the back, or I don't know, something, or one of these is supposed to be like mangled or something, let's say, like this, and then you so you move like the wood over. You know, and you have your little thing in the background or something like that. You know, maybe that might work. But yeah, just giving you some ideas for this. But yeah, this is how I would go about it. Hit this, hit a J. And then, you know, that way you have like some pieces of wood like that. And then UVing would be really simple because all you'd have to do is this. You would select all these, shift right click, and then you do a combine. So these are here now. You go into UV, you see what it looks like. We look at this. We look at the plane. So right now we're in the Z direction, which means this way. And you can see that right here. And then we can just go to UV, planner, and then we make it on the Z plane, you know, and we do a project. And look at that right there. It projected the UVs right here like this. It just did it backwards. So what we can do is we can just select those faces. So I'll go to this side view, go to face, select, if I line it up right, I can do it. F. So this is the same thing as this. I'm just real good at this, so I can just select it right here. And then I'll deselect these by holding down control. So I just have these front faces. Now if I do it again, UV planner, Z, it should just give me these front faces. So yeah, so these are our good faces and these are our bad boys, right? So you know where they're going. And then we just go like this, have them right here. And then we could take these faces right here. There's a way to reverse this. How do I do it? I think you go to UV, transform, flip. Is this it? Yup. Ooh, I like that. Want to do something right, but I'm kind of not sure. So yeah. So now you just come on here, you put a wood, you know, I might as well just do it, right? Take this, um, go to this, right click, assign new material, Arnold, extend surface, color, file, downloads. Let's go wood. It's got to be wood here somewhere. Wood, fine, right? Then we do 4, 5, 6. We see the grain of the wood's off, right? So I just go over here and I'll go to rotate UV, rotate it to be 90 degrees. So we have this now, right? And then if it looks too big, I'll just go to the, is it the repeat? Is that it? Yeah, go to repeat, make it 35. Let's see what this one, 35. Oh wait, no, 3.5, 3.5. Ooh, it doesn't look good that way. Yeah, and then do something like this. I mean, of course, you choose better wood than I would, but and probably something where the grain lines up better. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, and yeah, it should work. So that, this, you know, let's go all the way, right? Select this, and then we'll do assign new material. We'll go Arnold, add standard surface. Plus, this is relevant to the lesson I'm doing now. We'll do Chrome. You could also do the same thing with this as you did to the wood and just put like a nice like dirty chrome texture or something on it. But I'll just go here and I'll be quick about it. Go to Chrome, select that, and then I'll go to my, what is it? It's like roughness. Yeah. To give it a little roughness. Yeah, and those swords should work. And also with this sword, I mean, I like the way how you did this. Like this is good, but you could also just, you could make the real thing and just extend the whole way down. Uh, then like have it sticking through the object. That's not a problem at all.
You know, a problem that I was experiencing was as I was modeling, like to keep things together, I would like combine it. But then after I would separate the objects, for some reason, like it wouldn't let me like R to scale or like move it. Like I can move that whole thing fine, but like if I wanted to like resize, like
Oh, I know what you're saying. It gets out of whack. So if you want to
yeah,
scale this up, it gets all like crazy
yeah.
instead of uniformly scaling. So in the case like this, you would just do Control G and you would group it, and then you would do it like that instead of combining, because combining just fuses two objects together. Grouping puts them in a group. So combining means that like all of these, since I combine them, when I UV them, it's like all one shape. But if I was to group them, they would be separate shapes within a group. Um,
Okay, that makes sense.
yeah, yeah. So when you do that, yeah, that's a thing, and that doesn't happen in other programs really, but in this program, yeah, it's a thing. So you got to do that. And then once you get it all inside of a group, let's say you do this and you do your Alt G, and it's in a group, and you can scale it like this. Then yeah, you have to move the pivot. So you already knew that do that center pivot, or you press D, and then move the pivot to where you want. But always remember this too: if something's on the ground, or the pivot's at the most bottom point of an object, so let's say it's a cube or a building or a person or something like that, when it's on the ground and you have the pivot at the most bottom point of the object, then you can just like move it wherever it is, and it just like grows larger and taller, because we have that kind of pivot, or we have the pivot from the center, which does it like this. So basically all I'm trying to say is you can either scale your objects like this and then move them, or you can do this and move them, like wherever it needs to go. It's just on you, whatever you want to do. But for this right here, we have this. Let me go to Arnold, lights, Scotto. Yeah, this perfectly goes into the next lesson. Where's it at? Arnold, play. That is not Chrome at all. And we see that we have the issue, right, of history. So we just go in, delete this history, this, delete history, play, select the object, Chrome. That's a whack preset. I don't know why this is looking like that. Usually these come out pretty good. Why would that not happen? I have no idea why. I don't want to make this take too long. All right, so this right here, what were you saying with this? There was some issue. You were saying it looks flat, right?
Yeah, but that may just be because it's like there's no texture, so you really can't see like each individual little detail, but yeah,
Well, it does look sort of flattish,
it does, yeah. Um,
but yeah,
'Cause like
we
I wasn't sure if I should have made it thicker or not, but
yeah, for this you would make it how a real sword's made. However, like if this part's thick like that, and then like this is the blade, you know, so you would do it the exact same way as regularly made. And then when you get that blade down to the edge, you can do all that stuff too, like make it thinner. Um, Yeah, this doesn't look bad. I just think you need a little bit of it needs a little bit of this. Take like an edge loop, put like one. Oh, wait, did it? Yeah, that thing didn't go all the way across. That means there's something up with the topology because it went everywhere but there. I don't know
Is it
why I did
because
that.
they're two separate? Well, I don't think they are. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm not sure because yeah, see how it's stopping there, but it
Yeah.
goes here, it goes all around. Well, yeah, that means that something's not even with this. But basically, all I was going to do is this. I was going to take this around, do like three of those, and then take one of them, hit it right here, and then if you scale it out, it'll give it like a little bit of like depth, I guess. Yeah, depth, I guess. Depth, depth,
Depth.
depth. I don't know why. Today, I think it's just because I didn't get a lot of sleep. Uh, yeah, and we can do something like this, or you can just take this too, and then give it a bevel, and what that'll do is just give it a little bit of extra detail. But it looks like it's real tight for whatever reason right there. But something like that, you get what I'm saying? So you have the flat right here, but then when you have something like this, it just looks better in the render because you can then go around. I mean, it'll what is it? The reflections and everything will bounce off that area. And then of course you can go here and do another bevel. But these bevels are really tight, so I'm not sure how you made those pieces, but they don't look bad. They just need
The
a little bit of love.
way, yeah, the way that I did it was that like I just took like a regular rectangle, the rectangle right there, and then I just what is it, extruded it,
Hmm.
and then like used E to like rotate it downward. I don't know if that was a bad way to do it, but that's how I did it. If that
No,
makes sense.
it looks good. But always remember this too. Whenever you make something like that, you want to make it in the middle of the world first. So I don't know if you did do this. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. But this is just for everybody. So if I'm gonna make this a sword right now, I have to make it in the middle of the world with everything looking nice and perfect, and then after I have it like scaled and it's doing everything I want it to do, now is the time where I can like go in and then now rotate it. Because I see some people trying to like model on a rotated kind of thing, and it doesn't work like that. So you always build everything straight up and then you pose it. Oh, that's what
That's
it's
what
called,
my
a pose.
problem was. That's exactly what the problem was, actually.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you build it like this, like when they have models of humans, um, something called a like a T pose. And so everything comes in like this, but it's made in the middle of the scene perfectly, right? And then like all these parts are like mirrored, and I think this is Maya actually. Yeah. And so it's always like in a T pose, and then after that you do everything. So they all human characters and everything that you see in movies start off like this. Uh, they have a T pose for the Terminator. Yeah, see, I'm a big Terminator fan. Um, okay, but yeah, that's how you would take this through. Are there any other questions that you have about this?
No, I think that's it. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. And remember, you can go into Photoshop with this and paint over it and make it, extra grimy or extra beautiful or however, you want it to look. Okay. So for this, all right. So when it comes to like your rooms and your kitchens, yeah, in your kitchens, there's final render settings. All right. So for that, let me go here. Let me just put a little HDRI in this real quick. I just had one. Uh, let's go to a sunny day in Texas. Anyone here from Texas? I guess not. Yeah, it's this one. Kloppenheim. Okay. Don't know why it's not showing up though. Why is this? What version of Maya are you using? Jada.
Oh, I'm using 2020.
Using 20? Could that be why? This isn't doing what it's supposed to do. Let me try this again. Maybe I just put it in the wrong place. Uh, yeah, I think I put it in the wrong one. Nice. All right, so final render settings, right? So if you want to do a final render setting, you click this gear, and it's not showing up, just like on my old computer. Uh, it might show up, or maybe I have to go to one of these other contexts or something. Um, no, that's not it. This. Okay, this is it. All right. So what you would want to do, I guess you could put it in whatever you want. EXR is good for animation, but for this we can do let's say JPEG. Uh, if you were doing animation, I'll show you how to add that in, but we're not doing any. You choose your camera. So whatever your camera is, you go here to renderable cameras, presets. I like to see at least 720, but you know, you could do a 1080. If you're just doing one picture, um, I would do that. So those would be these are the settings for like the output, or you know, and you could put the name in it. So like so I put like Jada logo in it, right? That's not necessary, but it'll just give you an arbitrary name, but you can put that there. Um, the magic is this one. So I think they were saying like 5 is like final, but these things mean something. Um, diffuse means light bounces. So in this light hits over here and it hits over here and hits over here. It hits like, let's say it hits like 4 places. Let's say that's like one sample. You wanted to do hit some more spots. You would like crank it up to 2, 3, 4. But the higher you do this, you move this, the slower the render. Um, Specular is just like the shiny areas on it. It kind of like just, it's like quality control. So it kind of like reduces the noise. Might as well just show you what I mean. So let me just create camera from view. Uh, so I just made it say Jada Cam on it. And then in the Jada Cam. And now that I made a Jada Cam, look, Jada Cam is right here. But perspective's here too. If you keep both of these here, they both will render, which is fine if you want to do that. So if I wanted to do this, and then I wanted to, so there's JadaCam 02. I can also come in this one and then, you know, give myself like another like render or something. So you can do that too, and you see it, you can see it updates. But usually you don't want to render the perspective one. That's the resolution. I already went through that, Arnold. So if you want to do the final render, you render with this one right here. I mean, not this one. Let's say one of these two. So let's just click on this one. Now, you notice that this one doesn't do what the other one does. And see that Chrome worked for, oh yeah, because I guess the HDRI is in there. But the other one, you know how we can move around, we can touch stuff and all that. Like this one doesn't do this because this one's like the serious, no BS, like this is your final thing. So when you do your kitchen project and you have like your final settings, you're going to use this one. But you're not going to use it on these settings. You're going to use it on higher settings. So what sampling is kind of like, let's say it's like quality control. It's cleanup. So you can say like this right here is like noise, right? All these little specks, noise, kind of like on the TV screen, the snow, shh, you know, when you're on channel 3, right? But we don't want to see that in our picture. So one thing we can do is we can save this, and to do that, I think we hit this snapshot. But I think if you hit the snapshot, it saves it in, let me see, I think, oh no, it's this right here. You click on this one and it saves it here. That's what it is, right? So this is our 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 sampling settings right here. So it says 3, right? And if you look right here, it says 3. This one says 2, and now it says 2. So if I change this to 4 and I do a render, now we see this one says 4, right? And this one said 3 before. So we see 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4. See the difference? 4 is smoother. So if I add another 3 here, let's just see what it looks like, right? But first, let's take it on our 4 and save it. So we'll click on this to save the picture, and we'll do another render. While this thing's rendering, it's not like some other programs you can still move around and fiddle with stuff, but this one you can't. Now, something else to notice, right? When we have 3 settings, I mean, sampling of 3, it's taking 2 seconds. Now, when we do a sampling of 4, it's taking 5. But let's look at the quality, right? So crappy to better to just a little bit better. But that's only because I didn't change, I did change the diffuse, not the camera AA. So if I just take this to 6 now, save it. So I'm basically just showing you that you up this, it's going to up the quality settings. But the whole reason they made it like this is because some of these settings don't need to be that high. Because the higher, like, let's say subsurface scattering is, the longer the render will take when it doesn't need to take that much time. So look at this, 11 seconds, but let's look at the progress, right? From this to this to this to this. And if we look at here at the noise, see how much less noise that is? So the higher this is, the cleaner the image, the cleaner the image, the longer the render time. This is really like not a lot going on. So I could take this up to like something like 8, you know, and it'll probably come back in a minute. The renders I want y'all to do, I want you to crank this thing up. It might take like 10, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes on some of your computers. But that's all good because it's going to be like one 30-minute thing frame and you can do it while you're sleeping. But it'll just be like one render that took a long time, but you know, it's crisp and it's something that you can, you know, show off. But we can see the time hit is taken. But we definitely see the cleanliness, right? So you can kind of see what I'm getting at. The more time you take on something, the cleaner it looks, the realer result you can get. 18 seconds, right? But, and I'm moving around in this just like alt middle mouse button. So remember, here's our first one. We're getting good. And now we're super clean, right? We can get cleaner, but like, I think y'all see the point. And then you see how all these little other like artifacts and small areas that didn't get sampled before are now like getting cleaned up. Yeah. So that's how you do that. Okay. So let's get into some quick camera animation. Well, I guess you already know how to do it. You get in the camera, select the Jada cam. We select the camera, select this, click on it, press the S. So if I go to my channel box, here are like my locations, everything. So you see when I move that, it's moving. But if I press S, it sets a keyframe for that. And then, I can go to another frame. So you move the frame, move your object, press S. So look where we're at. We're at this to there, right? This is kind of short, so I can take it over here and put it on, let's say like 90. We'll do 90. And you know what? I only want it on 90 seconds. So I can go here and I can like put it on 90, or I can tap this and go to 90. So now if we play this, we'll see how long it's taking. And if you want to see what your stuff's looking like in real time, you click on this, 24 frames per second. That's right. And then if you really want to see what it's doing, we can frame it with this right here, or this one. So let's play. As always, we can like switch something up, like in this part right here. Let's say I want to, I don't know, look at it like this a little bit. Select the camera, press S. It might look odd, but whatever. Oh, it's nice and smooth. And also we have a graph editor, so I can go to Windows. It's just to let you know it's here. Animation editor, graph editor. Of course, it's not coming up. Okay, I'll deal with that one later. Yeah, so we have this right here. And then of course we can do something like, let's say I have these, Control G, shield. And then let's just say, I would set this all up beforehand, but I'm just gonna build it in the scene view, I guess. So let's say I have like a wall, I don't know, maybe this is what I want to have back here. And I have my shield. And I can do something like, let's say I want to bring the shield in around 50. So I can go here, press S, right? And then go to this and maybe take it over here and press S. So now it's like that. But let's say I wanted to come in faster, or let's say I wanted to rotate or something. I can do this now. I can just take my camera, take my object, my group, pull it back. We could have it, I don't know, going like this, like that, press S, and then get back on our camera. And then we do this and have this thing. Really, it's the final pose, I think. So I take this, put it here. I think the final pose is what I like to do first. So we can do this, put this here, press S, bring this back, and take this thing, and I don't know. We could even like do something like this. Put it down, S. Okay. Now, before you like go to render all this, you're gonna do something called a play blast, and that is right click, play blast, click on this options box. Now, how this works is quality always 100, scale always 100, right? And then it says movie files, play blast. You can save it to somewhere, or you could also just like do a local one, which means it'll just disappear after you're done with it. So I can go to play blast. Yeah, overwrite it. Now I have this preview right here, and I'll just go to repeat, and I'll just look at this, and then I'll just get like all my timing that I want. Then I'll make my adjustments, do another play blast, and that's basically how we build out everything. We'll deal with our rendering and all that stuff later, but it's mainly about getting this right, getting your logo set up, getting your camera, and getting your animation, yeah, correct. So what I like to see is at least 3 of these play blasts with different animations, types of animation on them. So by that I mean you have this one right here, and then so you see I have 2 different cameras. Maybe you could switch up the camera so this other Jada cam, let's say, I don't know, doing something like this. It's like super up close, maybe. You know, basically just something different than what the other one was. And then we could do S and oh, and then you could also change these keyframes. You just hold down Shift and click and scan, and you can like move these back and forth. And also, if you want to skip to a free keyframe, you click on this right here. So yeah, I would go like this, put this here, and just, yeah. So yeah, so I'd like to see 3 of these, yeah, next class. So have all your logos modeled and everything, and I mean, that's the main thing, but yeah, have some animation done. Are there any questions? Okay. All right. Well, send out an email, and if you have any questions, just email me. Let me know. Yeah. Yeah.